So I'm headed home and I decided to shoot this quick video. I want you to ask yourself a couple easy questions and seriously write down the answers. What did your father or your mother teach you about money? What did your mother and father teach you about love? Like directly sit down and teach you, not you pick it up by osmosis or by being around them or seeing the way they interacted, but literally face to face sat down and taught you these things about love. Maybe riding in the car, at the dinner table, whatever. What did they teach you about money? What did they teach you about friendship? What did they teach you about character? What did they teach you about success and how to succeed? What did they teach you about buying a house? How to buy a car? How to invest? Just things that seem very obvious that somebody should teach everybody these things by the time they become adults. So the question is, what did they teach you? Because the truth is, I sat down and tried to answer these questions. And what I realized was I was always hearing what not to do. Don't do this, don't do that, don't spend money on that, don't waste it, don't talk to that girl, don't do it. It was always a don't, but it was never really a do. Do this. Instead of always don't do that. There's no guiding principles that I can recall. There's no life lessons I could pull up and say, oh, this is what my father taught me about love. This is what my mother taught me about love. But I do realize that osmosis is very real. Because the lessons that nobody verbally taught me, I learned them anyway. And I picked up on them. And it occurred to me that there's been instances in my life, some way in the past, some not so far in the past, and some that are very much right now, that are direct in resemblance to what I saw, but I never heard, to what I witnessed, but no one ever told me. So I want you to really think about that and really answer those questions and say, what did you see versus what did you hear? A lot of times parents definitely want their kids to do great. And they may even say that, I want you to succeed, I believe in you. But, let's say I want you to make a really good cake. I believe in you, but I give you no recipe. I give you no materials. I give you nothing to work with. I might as well don't believe in you, because what are you going to do with nothing? You're going to do the only thing you can do with nothing, which is you can't even call it fail, because you don't even know how to try. A lot of people go out in life and try to be a part of love, but nobody raised them on how to love. Nobody raised them at all. For the most part, they raised themselves. And if you really look back and answer these questions, you'll see in many cases how often you were either raising yourself, gathering information from random places or random people who may not have been qualified to teach those lessons. The true benefit of this is after you do the work, because there will be no benefit if you don't do the work, if you don't put pen to paper and actually try it. The true benefit to this is that you will realize it's time to raise yourself. And first thing you have to do is raise your standard. You have to raise your standard from being a person who's going to be the victim of the past that nobody taught them. Nobody showed me that my parents did these things when I grew up, and that's why I'm this way. That can be the way if you're not driving, if you don't got your hands on the wheel and you're letting, something else steer it. But we're not going to be those people, right? It's time to raise ourselves for everything that we were never raised on, whether that's love or friendship, money or time, doesn't matter. Whatever you were raised on or was not raised on, doesn't matter at this point. It's time to raise ourselves. We're in an information age where we can get online, watch videos just like this on YouTube or anything. It's time to raise yourself. Just raise yourself. Find out everything you can about money and teach your kids. Find out everything you can about love and teach your kids. Literally teach them. Like sit down and teach them. But that's my message. It's time to raise ourselves to a higher standard.